And Mayo Clinic is making a major investment of almost $2 billion to reimagine health care. What's that going to do for the Arizona economy? But what is this going to do for healthcare around the world? Joining us right now is the Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Richard Gray. Dr. Gray, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
Let's start with what this is going to look like. What are the goals of this investment, and what can we expect here in Arizona and even worldwide? How is this going to change healthcare?
Yeah, we're extraordinarily excited, Mike. It is a major investment, but it's really an investment in meeting the needs of patients. There are so many patients with serious or complex health conditions who turn to a place like Mayo Clinic, where we have special capabilities to meet those needs. And so we are growing. It's going to look like more space, more access. We will be providing over the next 10 years millions of additional patient appointments, especially again for those patients who haven't been able to find answers for their rare or complex conditions elsewhere. But it's also about reimagining how healthcare should work. I think all of your listeners probably know that some of their healthcare experiences aren't ideal, and this is going to be designed around patients in the modern era. So, some simple things from intuitive wayfinding, not making a large medical center feel overwhelming. We will be creating care neighborhoods so that people have a home base where they can feel comfortable, but we'll be integrating the newest technology into every space. Our goal is to make the facilities and the rooms and the spaces that our patients are in a part of the care team. Mayo Clinic has been leading in AI-informed healthcare, and so bringing those predictive algorithms that create more personalization, more precision in care, and make the surroundings respond to the patient's needs. Imagine a place where if you're in the hospital, you don't have to be awakened to have your vital signs checked at night because we have technologies that can monitor that without touching you and waking you up. So simple conveniences with technology to important interventions that predict future healthcare problems before you ever develop symptoms are part of the plan here as we expand more access to those patients who need us most.
Chief Executive Officer from Mayo Clinic, Dr. Richard Gray, is joining us. Mayo could have done this anywhere at any one of their campuses or built a brand new one somewhere else in the world. Why did they choose the Arizona campus?
Yeah, Mayo Clinic came to Arizona because number one, there was a need. And number two, we knew that there was population growth and more need for Mayo Clinic level quality care. We don't aim to be the same as everyone else. We're not trying to compete with the excellent community care providers that are in the Phoenix metropolitan area. We want to provide some additional value and complementary services, things that aren't available anywhere else. And, each year here in Arizona, we have patients come to us mostly from our Phoenix metropolitan area, mostly from the state of Arizona, but we have patients that come from all 50 states and more than 50 foreign nations for our specialized treatments. And we chose to do that in Arizona in the past and with this investment because that's where the need is. We need to provide some of these services that aren't available anywhere else. We're the only place where people can get proton beam therapy for very complex cancer diagnoses. Last year, we performed more solid organ transplants in adults than any hospital had ever done in history here in Arizona. We did the world's first laryngeal transplant last year for a patient with recurrent cancer. Those are the kinds of things that we can bring to the table as a complement to our growing area where there are incredible needs. And Mayo Clinic knows that we can do that. And in doing so, we can set the stage for how healthcare should work in the future. Again, leading through things like Mayo Clinic Platform and our democratization of AI expertise, where we can bring Mayo Clinic expertise to more people here in Arizona, but also through digital connections across the world.
And Dr. Gray, obviously the medical community learns from each other. The research that one hospital does is learned in another hospital. How is this going to improve healthcare across the country and across the world? Do you believe it's going to help expand this model and do great things around the world?
It is, and our goal at Mayo Clinic, our stated goal is by 2030 to impact billions of lives across the world in a positive way. And one of the ways we're doing that is by ensuring that everything we do, including this investment and our expansion here in Arizona, everything we do can be scaled and can help other healthcare providers, help patients, help those that don't ever come to Mayo Clinic even. So again, through our Mayo Clinic platform, we are developing AI-based tools that on our platform, the rules of the road the rule is that if you develop solutions on the backbone of Mayo Clinic platform, those solutions need to be available for any healthcare provider in the world so that their patients can benefit it as well. So the kind of pace that we're setting here in Arizona with care and cures that aren't available anywhere else, we are putting into digital tools that can help others. A quick example, we developed an AI algorithm that we're using today here at Mayo Clinic in Arizona among around 300 algorithms we have in various stages of deployment for patients with head and neck cancer. When they develop head and neck cancer and need radiation, a planning CAT scan is done, and then it used to take our radiation oncologists and physicists about 17 hours to develop that complex radiation plan to cure the cancer, but also to protect their other important structures. We now have an AI algorithm that can make that plan automatically from the planning CT scan. And then our physicists and radiation oncologists can spend close to an hour quality controlling it, making sure it's exactly right for that patient. Now they can do high quality, consistent care at 1/17 the work effort that was previously required. We are making that available on the platform so that other healthcare organizations around the world can take that in and apply it to their patients. So imagine thousands of those models and then hundreds of thousands of those models being taken in around the world to give high quality Mayo Clinic type care at 1/17 the work effort. And you start to get some hope that we can make an impact on more access, higher quality, and bending the cost curve in healthcare.
Yeah, what an incredible story. The last question is about workforce. When the tech industry made such major investments in Arizona, we've seen the community college districts and other programs to train a workforce to work in this area. Are you working in partnership in the same way? Do you have the expectation that that's going to happen here as well, to train your workforce here in Arizona?
Yes, we are. And we have incredible people at Mayo Clinic, and we need incredible expertise. So, first, we're investing in our existing workforce. Our current people will continue to need to develop new skills, and that's part of our DNA at Mayo Clinic. We are restless for what comes next for new care and new cures for patients. So we have a lot of programs to upskill and reskill our own people. But we also know that with this expansion, we'll be adding about 3,500 new positions at Mayo Clinic here in Arizona. And that means having that kind of workforce pipeline with those specialized skills, particular to our model of caring for patients with complex conditions. And so we're doing that in a multitude of ways. You mentioned Mayo Clinic does research. We expend over $1 billion per year in medical research, but we also have a major commitment to education. And we have 5 schools here in Arizona, and those schools are preparing that workforce of the future for us. But as you mentioned, we are also working in collaboration. We have a tight collaboration with Arizona State University, but also with other universities, as well as with our wonderful community college system and technical schools in our area. We have had multiple conversations with them, and we have mapped out the timelines for these positions so that we're launching new programs in collaboration with others that we'll continue to detail in the coming years.
Dr. Gray, I think we all realize we're blessed to have Mayo Clinic in the world, but especially blessed to have you right here in the Valley. And thank you so much for your time. And I hope we can talk more often, because I would love to get information as this program carries on.
Thank you very much. We at Mayo Clinic feel blessed to be here in Arizona, in an amazing state that is building so much momentum. And we want to do our part for making sure the future of this state is as healthy as it can be, and finding those solutions that people can't find elsewhere.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. That is Dr. Richard Gray from Mayo Clinic, with just exciting news about an expansion here and what it's going to do to revolutionize healthcare around the world.
Thanks for watching the Mike Broomhead Show. Catch up on Amazing Arizonans, a KTAR News podcast, and click the button in the middle to subscribe.